Hello, guys. This is Alex Julian or Aloysius Zanderman here. I got here Diet Coke from McDonald's, of course. I was out and about and just enjoying my dessert for tonight. Now, if you ever see me in public, you are welcome to say hello to me, and I will likely say hello back. Definitely, with the internet these days, it could seem like everybody is social media, but especially when it comes to average, normal folk like you and me. We could be social with each other, and definitely I say hi to people who give comments below my art. Just so you know, um, um, tips are fine when it comes to uh, the economic factors of my profile. Tips are fine, but that's about all at this moment. So at this moment, I do not work on any projects with anybody else or do any projects with anybody else. I just do my own art for my art therapy, and tips are fine and subscriptions, and that's about it. I'm not that picky because with my mental illness, I do my art therapy as like my job, as in like I do my art for my art therapy, and it's important because it helps others as well when it comes to reaching out for mental capabilities, mental abilities, mental capacity, mental intelligence, mental philosophy, especially. And I give a toast to that with a drink for the night, with my tribute to the Oreo McFlurry by McDonald's with caramel. So, what is the subject for tonight when it comes to this video? Well, the subject for tonight with this video will be about um, Burger King when it comes to their restaurants that I've been to thus far. I've been to more than one Burger King, and I've gone to different Burger King locations here and there. And it is with my honor and my privilege to introduce you guys to Burger King when it comes to knowing what sandwiches to have when you go out, what appetizers to have, what sides to have. And definitely when it comes to fast food, Burger King is a major contender. And thus far, the best Burger King location I've been to was the Burger King location at Sacramento State University in California. And that is because with the fast food giant existing on the school campus at Sacramento State University of California, um, it has that tribute and it has that honor, or at least it did have it when I was going out and about. I'm not sure if they're still there, but when I did go there, they were the best. So that's the past, take it or leave it. I cannot confirm if it's the present because I do not live in Sacramento anymore, but definitely when it comes to my past records, they were really out there when it comes to picture perfection with service between lunch encounter, breakfast encounter, and dinner encounter. And definitely there's my toast to that with interesting tribute to um, the Whopper fanaticism and those kinds of things. And well, let me take another drink and talk about the Whopper. So, what is the Whopper by Burger King? What is the Whopper? Well, definitely one thing is for sure. The Whopper is a southern term for something that is really extraordinaire, something that is really interesting and wild and out there when it comes to marvels to behold and humors to take to the side of interest at heart when it comes to finding pleasures in a day, pleasures in the night, and trying to go back and forth with the humors in notion, with the pleasures in notion, to the extent of finding out where to land it when it comes to having a seat for breakfast, lunch, or dinner, and eating to the tune of soft jazz as the Whopper takes its hold on the consumption of time and space. And definitely, there's something to be said about even just the original Whopper when it comes to the mayonnaise and lettuce and tomato and pickle and onion. Um, because definitely it does act as a sort of salad a little bit when it comes to having all those veggies with the very rich mayonnaise and ketchup put together in like style. And it's more bouncier than the Jumbo Jack, and it is um, more crazy than the Big Mac. So definitely the Whopper does have a lot of ring to it. Although compared to the Arch Burger, the Whopper by Burger King is obviously outdated in that sense. I would say that the McDonald's Arch Burger uh, is greater than the Burger King Whopper. You know, the McDonald's Arch Burger, when they had it, was more zingier, more crazier, more fantastic than the Whopper. Um, but then again, the Whopper started it with a lot of that floppiness of the meat and that floppiness of the bread and that floppiness of the sauces and veggie toppings. So much so that it would be rumored at times for people out there that kids do not eat Whoppers. Which is true to an extent, but only to an extent. Definitely, kids can only eat so much, and it's the adults who eat to their heart's content, and it's the adults who eat piles and piles of food. So just like with the buffets and those kinds of things. But then again, as a kid going out, when I was growing up in my years, I was rather a young kid, or at least a young teenager, when I was going to Shakey's Pizza Buffet lunch in Ventura, California. There used to be a Shakey's in Ventura, California. And in fact, my mom and dad moved over to Ventura, California because at the time Ventura was a lot smaller of a city and it was a lot easier to handle on the tempers of my mom and dad because my mom and dad would get into a lot of arguments and conflicts over money and finances and how to take care of the kids and how to take care of the house and how to take care of the car and how to take care of work. It it did get really intense for them, so that's why they moved to Ventura, California. And when Ventura, California became too much, then they moved over to Bakersfield. And when Bakersfield got too much, then they went over to Tehachapi, all in California. And it's very possible that if Tehachapi runs out, or if Tehachapi goes full blow when it comes to finances and everything, um, I may move out of state if things go from here to inflation of the population. As in, the inflation of the population can cause shifting in real estate. And well, that's understood because that's just a work of God that cannot be controlled, really. Um, and in case people want to know about California or even the United States of America in general, well, moving around from place to place, it has to go to the motion of um, people when it comes to the existence of people, as in the number of people, the quantity of people. And to an extent, more people means more quality of life because then you get to interact with other people and see more of the variables and circumstances and curiosities of the human mind. The human mind comes to more understanding when we take it to approach with more of our friends, more of our neighbors, more of our strangers, and we, beg to differ on where it goes with our harmonies and our discords in the relation of the earth, the soil, the land, the plants, the flowers, of course. What was I talking about again? Well, the Whopper. And well, with me talking for a long time about other things, you could get the notion here of my mental illness. And it's with my mental illness that I have attention deficit disorder. Attention deficit disorder is really serious. It really is. Um, because definitely right now in the American economy, I cannot drive and I cannot work because it's too hard on the mind. It's too hard on my tempers. I mean, I could treat art therapy and my therapy for mental illnesses something like my job, but it's really more like a job as to say it's not a job, as in more like it's more like a role rather than a job. And anyways, Burger King, Whopper. Okay, so Burger King locations. What can I say about Burger King locations and Whoppers? Well, or just even their cheeseburgers or chicken fries or onion rings or Hershey's chocolate pie. Well, definitely, let me take a break and give a toast here to Burger King and definitely say I appreciate Burger King and I appreciate the history of Burger King when it comes to growing up in awe and curiosity about going under the ground for having my way, of course. Uh, so, Does Burger King have the best food? Obviously not. However, then again, if you love food like I do, you're fine with food not being the best everywhere you go. Food is often fine for just being food. It often is. But then again, let's think about it carefully with Burger King. Does Burger King have the best bread for a burger? My answer to that is no. Do they have the best meat for a burger? I would say the meat is stronger than the bread, but still no. And the condiments. Do they have the best condiments for a burger? And it's on the condiments where I would say they excel a lot when it comes to condiments. And it is with the condiments also that they can stake a lot of quality praise for themselves for their original chicken sandwich, for their cheeseburgers, for their hamburgers, for their chicken fries, for their onion rings, for their mozzarella sticks, for their pies, for their milkshakes. And definitely it's the condiments, it's the toppings, it's the smaller ingredients that make it really, really worthwhile with a lot of what Burger King has to offer. Because there is a way when it comes to Burger King, a way. They call it your way, but basically it's a way. It's kind of like a traveler who is going on the path, going on the real road. And Burger King would remark on it by saying, have it your way. As in, like, you go into that ribbon. You go into that ribbon as a knight in shining armor. And you approach the king. And have really, really delicious flame broiled meat. Now, between McDonald's and Burger King, I would say that if you want more heat with your cheeseburger, Burger King is the one to go for. However, if you want even more heat than Burger King, I would recommend the Habit Burger, actually, which is a small Santa Clarita style sort of burger chain located here in California. But if that's not available to you, if you're an outsider to California, well, how about Carl's Jr. or Hardee's? That could be more. Definitely charboiling hamburgers is very difficult to do. It's very time consuming. In fact, it's so time consuming that it's actually best to, have the burger when it cools down a little bit. So that way you do not get too much of an upset mouth when you take that first bite of the flame broiled meat. And um, definitely we should not confuse the process of cooking burgers with the process of making coffee. Food temperature for coffee should not be equal to food temperature to charbroiling burgers, or else otherwise we would always have hot steam in our mouths constantly when having a Whopper sandwich, when having a cheeseburger or hamburger sort of sandwich with a flame broiled touch. I know there's fire used to cook the flame broiled burgers. Pardon my French. I mean, I know. Did I misspeak a little bit? Let me drink this a little bit to calm down my nerves. I have to drink something cold at times because my mind gets very wiry. My mind gets very busy. My consciousness stirs a lot, and I have a lot to say, and there's a lot that's on my mind. So, here's a good question to ask. What is the best flame broiled cheeseburger? And to that I say, I do not know. I would say the best burger the best burger I've actually had is a General Burger at Denny's Diner. And that is because they really kick up the heat on that Denny's burger. They really kick up the heat. Burger King relaxes it to a certain extent. In fact, sometimes Burger King relaxes their cheeseburgers a little too much, and they do let some necessary heat out of their wrappers. So Burger King has more hesitation than Denny's, and Denny's has more confidence than Burger King. But then again, money. Money, 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 Money to the little things, money to the big things. Where money goes and how money is when it comes to finding money for the stuff and the stuff for the money. Well, definitely Denny's is expensive and Burger King is cheap. Then again, it just depends. It just depends. It depends on how you want to think about it. The Denny's burger, I would rate it as a 4-star out of 5, and the Burger King Whopper I rate 3 out of 5. So basically, the quality of the Whopper is the equivalent of the Philly cheesesteak sandwich by Jack in the Box in terms of quality of heat and quality of style, quality of taste and quality of flavor. Limited edition Whoppers, and this is a big one. Limited edition Whoppers are half and half. Sometimes they work, sometimes they fail. And that is because Whoppers can be very temperamental when it comes to condiments. In fact, a lot of condiments are required to make more or less of a flame broiled masterpiece when it comes to the hamburger meat that is under the radar of fire and brimstone, such as, having that fire kick it up when it comes to meat and getting that beef cooked enough with there being flavor in conjunction with the sauces and the toppings and the condiments and the veggies, trying to find a balance. And Burger King Whoppers sometimes excel quality when there are limited edition Whoppers, and sometimes when there are limited edition Whoppers, it's submission of lesser qualities, such as like lesser meats or lesser bacon or lesser cheese or lesser condiments. And definitely fast food restaurants will often treat their limited edition items as the go-to for faster or slower means of production. Because definitely when it comes to means of production, it does get tricky for the workers to know exactly when to speed things up and when to slow things down. And definitely consistency is kind of a myth sometimes, and it's more like a turbulence rather than a consistency. But then again, when it comes to the turbulence, it can be toned down with more consistency, or at least something else such as quality or habit or hobby or whatever approach there would be in the kitchen for Burger King or Carl's Jr. or McDonald's or Del Taco or wherever there's cooking to be done. But definitely, in contrast to the Burger King Whopper, the McDonald's Big Mac is definitely 2.5 stars out of 5. Um, so basically, comparing the Big Mac to the Whopper wins. But comparing the Whopper to Carl's Jr.'s Bacon Western Cheeseburger, I would say the Bacon Western Cheeseburger beats the Burger King Whopper by zero point 0.5 points. So the Western Bacon Cheeseburger at Carl's Jr. is like a 3.5 stars out of 5 because they get it really, really good over there. And Burger King is 3 stars with their Whopper. And let me toast for tonight and just let us remember that this is for fun, this is for philosophy, this is for entertainment, this is just a talk show with me showcasing the missing threads here when it comes to fun and excitement and delight and pleasure when it comes to having really cool and random rants about food to love, food to hate, food to trust, food to tease with, foods to bother, foods to munch on, munch food, and remember, munch can also be said as munch. Munch, 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 and well, there you go. And this video is clear evidence that word of mouth is not equal to page of literature. But then again, this is literature anyway because I know what's in my mouth when I speak it. And take care, guys. Let me get this drink here. And happy trails and happy travels to you guys as you search for the best food out there. And thank you for watching my talk show for tonight.